here. Trying to fix this camera so it won't shake. I still haven't figured out how I'm gonna fix the whole shaking issue, but whatever. Well, I have not been, well, it's been like 5 days since I uploaded my last vlog, and I haven't been too much this past few days because it's been hell of a week. And I don't know if you guys watch my video. I'll put the video link on the description box about this video that I'm about to talk about. Well, about the video that I'm about to talk. Well, first of all, let me say hello, churritos, and how are you guys doing, you sexy motherfuckers? But like I said, I haven't done much this week because I lost one of my puppies. I don't know if you guys remember Roman. I feel so sad talking about it, you know, like I know it was just a dog, but he was like my baby, you know, like I took him shopping and I bought him his clothes and I put his little outfit, so he was my pride and joy, I guess. And Roman, did I say Roman or Jeffrey? Roman, the black pug, I made a video when I first got him and when I introduced him to Jeffrey, you know, and I lost him. I'm gonna explain to you guys how I found him. Like, he passed away. Okay, well, it was on, I don't remember the exact date, but this is how the event happened. This is how the event happened. So Andy, he texted me saying, hey, we can't find Roman. And I was like, what do you mean we can't find him? So like, he must have gotten out, you know. Let me take a sip of my drink. In case you're wondering what I'm drinking, it's like an after workout, which is like faster muscle recovery, so I won't feel sore tomorrow. And I'll do like a haul of the products that I take later. But like I said, so he texted me saying, hey, we can't find Roman. And I was like, wait, what do you mean we can't find him? So like, I can't find him. I already looked everywhere in the house. I think he got out. And I was like, okay. And that was a time where I was getting out of work and I was gonna go to the gym. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna skip the gym and I'm gonna go try to drive around, you know, like see if I find him walking on the streets. And Roman was very like happy, if he would see a stranger, he wouldn't bark at them. He would want to go and play with them, you know. So we looked like for an hour and we couldn't find him. And we're like, you know what? Somebody took him. Somebody picked him up. He's a small puppy. I think he's so adorable. I don't think we're ever gonna see him again, you know. Like, somebody picked him up. After an hour of searching, we just gave up. And I told him, I was like, let's just put up signs and see if we have any luck, or put it on Craigslist. And he wasn't chipped either. He wasn't chipped, so he didn't have a name tag or anything. Because I don't know. I guess that we never got the time to do that. And so we looked for an hour. We couldn't find him. And then something told me, okay, I checked the alley of the house where he was staying at, and something said, just go through the backyard. I don't know, something in me, like a feeling, just said, go through the backyard and look one more time. So there I go through the backyard, and I just checked every corner, and I find him right at the middle of the backyard. He was just sitting. Well, how a dog sits, you know. He wasn't laying down. He was sitting right in the middle. And he was just looking at me, and I was like, oh my God, I found him. I was so glad I found him. But he wasn't responding to me calling him, you know. Like I said, whenever I would call his name or whatever, he would shake his tail and he would go up to me. He would like try to like make signs of him wanting me to carry him, you know. But he was just sitting there, and I would say, Roman. And he would just look at me, and I saw something in his eyes, you know. I was like, you know what, this is not him. So I gave him food and water, and usually even treats. And usually with those two things, oh my God, with the food, he would devour that thing, you know. With the treats, he would beg for treats. He would do tricks for the treats, and he wouldn't even bother to smell them. So I said, you know what, there's something wrong. So I took him to the hospital. and there was like an ER for pets here in my area. I take him to the ER, and I told him, I was like, you know what? He's not himself. I don't know. I think he ate something or he got stung by a bee. I didn't know anything, you know, because it was the first time that was happening. This was the first time I was experiencing something like with a pet. So they told me, okay, we're gonna take him in and we're gonna do some blood work. We're gonna put him on just do like a physical exam, see if we can find what he has. So they did some blood work on him, and they also did like a physical exam, and where they checked him if maybe he broke a bone or something, you know. So they come out and they tell me, oh, it doesn't look like he broke a bone or anything. It looks like he either got stung by a bee or he must have eaten something, you know. And I was like, oh, okay, then what can we do? And then they told me that in the blood work that they did on him, they found there was something with his intestines. He had inflammation of the intestines, which is probably perhaps something he ate, or he got stung by a bee. But I was kind of confused for a moment, because if he would have gotten stung by a bee, it would have shown, you know, his face would have gotten swollen. So I was more assured that he ate something. And they told us, okay, well, we're gonna put him in IV, because he was also dehydrated, you know, because he was sitting in the middle of the backyard for God knows how long he was sitting there. So he got dehydrated, and they put him on IV. They gave him fluids, and then they gave him he was vomiting and having very bad diarrhea. So he was getting dehydrated more, because he would vomit and he would poop, and his stool were literally water. It wasn't even like putty like, it was just water, like brown water. And he would vomit, like I said. And I asked him, I was like, okay, how much is all this gonna cost me, you know? And then they're like, okay, well, for him, we plan on giving, because they gave me like the care plan that they had for him. They're like, okay, so we want to leave him here for 12 hours, and we're gonna give him an IV. Well, he's gonna stay on the IV that they first put. We're also gonna be giving him medication for the diarrhea, medication for the vomiting. We're also going to be doing checkups on him. We're going to be doing another blood work test, and they also wanted to do x-rays. They wanted to do that all through the 12-hour period, but they did not assure me that he was going to be okay. They just told me they were going to try their best, you know, which, I mean, being in the medical field, you never assure somebody that the patient is going to get okay, because if they don't recover, then you're liable for them not recovering, because you reassured them that they were going to be okay. So you never reassured somebody they were going to be okay. So I was not expecting that, you know, but I don't know. I just wanted to hear something where they gave me like a specific, the problem that he had, you know. And then the physician, she said, oh, and he's in pain, so we want to keep him here, give him like pain medication. I was like, okay, well, how much is it going to cost me? And then she's like, oh, well, for 12 hours, we're looking at $1,860 something. I was like, what? $1,860 something? Where am I gonna? I was shocked, you know. I was like, that's a lot of money for 12 hours. And I was like, okay, well, is there like other options that I have? And they work with me. They're like, okay, well, how about we just leave him here for 6 hours, which is like half. So I paid half of what they were charging me. So we leave him there for 6 hours. And I was like, okay, what is he going to be getting within those 6 hours? They told me, oh, he's going to be left in the IV. We're going to be checking on him. Since he's not staying the full 6 hours, we're not going to do the second blood work. But he's going to be getting medication for the like vomiting and stuff. And then, okay, so I was like, okay, so I dropped him off at 6 p.m. and I picked him up at midnight. And I was like, hey, what was he giving? You know, like, can you give me a report? They're like, well, he looks a little better than how he came. He's been getting IVs. He has not pooped or vomited since he's been here. The only ones when I first brought him in there, so they did not give him any of that medication. And then I told her, okay, then how can I take care of him at home, you know? I was like, can he be left in the IV? And then the next day I take him to a vet and they remove the IV, you know? They're like, well, since it's not safe for a pet to go home with an IV, we're not going to be able to do that. And I was like, okay, then can I have the medication? I'll pay for the medication for the vomiting and diarrhea, and I'll give it to him at home, you know? And they're like, well, we were thinking about doing it through an IV. We don't have it through pills. So giving it to you through giving you the medication, it's not gonna work because, like I said, we were thinking about putting it in an IV. I was like, lady, are you kidding? How can you give me something for pain at least, you know? They're like, well, he's not really in pain. The physician said it's not really painful. It's more of a discomfort, so he won't really need pain medication. I was like, okay, then why were you giving me all these things before I even asked you how much it cost, you know? And then I was like, okay, whatever. I just wanted Roman home, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take him home. And then the next day, I'll just be giving him water with the syringe, and then I'll be giving him some food. Not solid food, I like meats and stuff like that, like doggy meat and the dog food. I would like blend it, and I blended in the blender, and I was feeding him like that. I was feeding him. Well, I was, and my mom was. Every 2 hours, I was like, every 2 hours, try to give him some food, and every hour give him water because I mean he's dehydrated because of the vomiting and diarrhea, you know. So I go to work the next day, and then I get home, and then I brought in some medication that I purchased. I think it was at PetSmart or something for diarrhea and vomiting, and I give it to him. It was like around 3 p.m., like 3:30 when I got home the next day, and I didn't even go to the gym. I didn't do anything. I just stayed there. And then like by 4, I go to my room, and then when I went to my room, we left him like on the little, we have like the living room, there's like a little window that you get the sunlight, not direct sunlight, but like the soft evening warm of the sun, you know? So we have him sit there, and then my mom calls me, so like, Arturo, I was like, hey, what's up, what happened? And then she tells me, oh, Roman tried walking, I guess he tried getting up, like gave a few steps, he took a few steps, but then he collapsed. And then when I saw him, he wasn't even responding anymore. He wasn't even looking at me as he was when I found him. He wasn't even sitting down. He wasn't doing anything, you know? And he wasn't even closing his eyes. He was just taking deep breaths. And I knew what was gonna happen because at my job, I've seen people that are in hospice, people that are about to pass, and they start giving those like breathing, their breathing changes, and they don't close their eyes. So I know he was on his last. I don't know if he was gonna last like that for hours or minutes, but I knew it was coming, you know. I knew he was not gonna make it. And I was like, you know what, I don't want to see him like this. So I waited like 10 minutes, like 15 minutes to see if perhaps he responded to something, you know, and he wouldn't. I was like, Mom, like I know it's gonna happen. Oh my God, just by talking about it, I start thinking all over again. So I knew it was gonna happen, and I told my mom, I was like, I don't want to see him like this for hours. I told her, I was like, I'm gonna take him to the shelter, and I'll have somebody there put him to sleep, you know, because I did not want her to see him being like that, you know, because I don't know, like I got so attached to him, and the fact that he had like this complete different attitude than how he was, you know. So I told my mom, I was like, I'm gonna take him to the shelter because I don't want him to be like that for hours. Who knows when it's gonna come, but it's coming, you know? So I take him, and I was on my way to the shelter. He kept doing the breathing pattern he was having, and it was more like the breathing he was doing, there was more time in between, so I knew it was coming. But I still went to the shelter, and I was still having plans on putting him to sleep. And then we get to the shelter, and then I'm signing the papers because they wanted to know if he was like registered and all that. And then I was like about to sign the papers, and I had him in my hands, and then he took his last breath. Usually, like when people pass, they take deep breaths. I guess they just take their last breath. You notice them because they're full deep breaths. And then I had him right here in my hands, and I was trying to sign the paper, and then he just passes, you know. And I just couldn't accept it, like. I don't know, it just broke my heart seeing like my dog like not responding to me anymore. And then I tell the lady, I'm like, hey, I don't think I need it anymore. I think he just passed. And then she checks, and she couldn't feel the pulse anymore. I don't know. I was talking to him, Mama. I don't know if you understood me or not, but I was talking to him. I was like, okay, Roman, like you're okay, like just relax, you know. And I guess it's more like a bittersweet feeling because I'm glad he passed while I was carrying him, you know, then like take him to a room and like put him to sleep, you know. I don't know, but I still miss him, and it's crazy because every time I go home, like I always expect him to like welcome me, you know, because he would like hear when I would get there, and he would be looking at me through the window expecting me to come in, and I don't see him anymore, you know. And it's very sad because you literally feel like you lose like a little part of you, you know. And I don't know, I guess you just don't feel how much he meant to me until I lost him, you know. I don't know. And I don't know, there's, and then I told at my job, I told everybody what happened, and they couldn't believe it, because I would take him to my job, and they would like pet him, and I would take him like the whole day, and like my boss would like to have him walking around, you know, like with the collar. Everybody was like in disbelief because he was there just last week, you know. I don't know, let me see, I have a picture of him. I don't know, I still think about my doggy. Even though I just had him for like 5 months, like he was still my baby, you know? Look. Wait. I don't know if you guys can see him or not, but that's Roman. I don't know, I miss him. And the other day I was washing my clothes, like 2 days ago. I was washing my clothes, and at the bottom of my dirty laundry, like all his little outfits came out, you know, and it just got to me. I don't know. It just got to me. I was like a little bummed because his stuff was still there. And then everybody's asking me, are you gonna get another dog? I don't know. Right now I feel like it's too soon. That thing made me burp. I feel like it's too soon to get another doggy. And I know Jeffrey knows what happened, because the day that it happened at nighttime, we went home, and he was just looking at us like he knew there was something wrong. And then I don't know, and then the next day I saw him, and you would see him a little different, like he wasn't himself. I was like, I don't know if he knows that he's not coming back home, you know. I don't know if he knows that he's not gonna see Roman again. And I'm like, bummer. I don't know, I guess you really do love your doggies more than what you thought you would, you know, especially when you don't have them anymore. I don't know, and I was watching the video that I told you guys where I had him with me. I was like, oh my god, Arturo, if you knew what was gonna happen. I don't know. I don't know, I guess I've been having like a rough few days too, and I also discovered what the feeling of being by yourself and owning your own time, and you know, like having your own schedule, not owning explanations to anyone, you know, all those things. I learned them in the past few days. I guess taking my life back. That's what that's the word I'm trying to use. And I say that because let's just put it this way. Sorry about stopping the camera there. My camera had to change the battery pack, but there you go. Oh, wrong gear. But anyways, what I was saying, that I realized how, I don't know how to say it, like pretty much I just realized how you really never can't rely on who you thought your friends were, you know, because when was it? I think it was like 3 days ago. No, it was on the 4-day weekend that we had. Okay, I'm not trying to brag or anything, but since I started working at my 2 jobs, I have never called off. I've been at one of them I've been for 2 years, and the other one I've been there for a year, and I have never called off. You know, I might feel a little sick, I might feel like I have a runny nose or sore throat, a cough, whatever, but I show up to work, you know, because that's just the way I am. You know, I mean, you know, unless I'm like, it's a life-threatening, I don't call off. I don't know, it's just a thing that I have. And like I said, I never call off, right? So there we go. So we decided to go to Santa Barbara for just to go have fun, go to a bar or whatever on a Sunday, and the next day, that was on a Monday, I worked from 7 in the morning to 7 at night. So you go with some friends. It was me, I'm not gonna say the people's names, but it was 3 other people and another girl. And so we're having fun, whatever. I pay for the girl to get in, whatever, and I don't expect her to pay me back, and then we all have fun, like a good normal night, a night out. And we keep in mind, I live in Ventura, so we went to Santa Barbara, which is, I want to say like 45 minutes, depending on traffic, if there's traffic or not. So we go up there, and like I said, we're all having fun. And then I think they closed the bar like at 2 in the morning. I was not expecting to stay that late, especially because I had work the next day. But I mean, whatever, I was having fun. And I said, you know what? We're leaving now. It's 2 in the morning. I'll probably just sleep on my way there. So we leave the bar, and the driver, he was drinking too, but he was still able to drive, And the 3 other people that we went with, one of them was very chill. One of them was like laid back. He didn't say anything throughout the trip back home. He was just like minding his own business, which I'm still cool with him and whatever. But the other 2, they all started like making up a scene on my list of so chaps, and I don't even know where chapstick is at. I feel like they all started making a scene, and if you guys might be watching my video, I'm just saying my part of the story. I'm saying what I remember, and I'm talking about how I felt, So if you're watching this video, I'm not talking shit, I'm not throwing you under the bus. I'm just sharing the experience on how it happened from what I remember. So, like I said, we were on our way back, and it was them two, the girl and the other guy. They started, I don't know how it happened, but this conversation just started showing up, where they wanted him to like not drink and drive, like, you don't feel good, what are you doing? I'm not gonna let you take my life away. I'm not gonna let you take any of our lives away. And I started saying, you know what, if he says he's okay to drive, let him drive, like, whatever, just, if we're already kind of halfway there, just let him drive, And then they started getting like more loud and loud. I guess they wanted like to make their point and say, hey, stop driving. And it literally got to that point where they started screaming and started cursing, and they made the driver pull over on the side of like how there's like the freeway and there's like roads next to the freeway. They made him pull out in one of those like inner roads, not exactly on the freeway, but the inner roads. So they made him pull over into that little area, and they just started saying like, we're finding a hotel tonight, we're staying here, we're not gonna go back home, you can't drive. And I'm like, I was on the passenger seat next to him, and then I told him, I was like, you know what, you're old enough to make your own decisions. Whether you want to go back home, let's go back home. And if you're scared you're gonna fall asleep, which I'm pretty sure he wasn't, because he wasn't that drunk, if you're scared you're gonna fall asleep, then I'll be talking to you, like, I'm not gonna just let you drive on your own, because I mean, it happens where people fall asleep when they just, all they do is just driving. I was like, I'll keep you awake, we'll just keep on talking about stuff, I don't know, whatever, but I have to get home because I have work at 7 in the morning. Keep in mind, it was already like 3 in the morning, 2:30 or so, 2:45, give or take, whatever. And so we were just pulling over the road. Nobody was calling a hotel to find a room. Nobody was trying to even find a ride to the hotel. The people that were wanting to stay, they were not even looking for options, We were just literally sitting on the side of the road doing absolutely nothing. And I started getting a little heated, because it's like, okay, I told the driver, I said, okay, if you're gonna go home, let's go home now. But if you're not gonna go home, okay, then let me know so I can find a ride home. I'll call my brother, I'll call a taxi, whatever, an Uber, I'll find a ride home. That's no biggie, And then we had the girl that was with us, she started saying, you're not gonna drive home. And I told her, I was like, you know what, just shut up and let him make his own decision. Because at this point, the driver was being screamed at one side, and I guess I started getting a little irritated, so I started getting my voice loud, and I guess I was screaming on the other side, And then she started saying, you're not gonna drive home. And I was like, just shut up and let him do whatever he wants to do. If you guys want to stay here, you guys stay here. And if you want to go home, me and him both, we go home. You guys can find a hotel here and figure it out yourself. And then she just started attacking me. She just started saying, what the fuck, Arturo? Who the fuck do you think you are to be talking to me that way? Literally. And then she started calling me a faggot. She's like, you're going to hell because you're gay. I don't know, I guess she was just drunk. I was like, girl, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? We just left the gay bar. And you shouldn't even be talking to me like that because I fucking paid for your own shit to get in because they had like a, what is it? You know how they, a cover? I was like, what the hell are you talking about, girl? And you're surrounded by gay guys. Like, I was just in shock because she goes to gay bars with us and she chills with us, But I don't know why she started saying that. I was like, girl, you're out of your mind. So pretty much, it was already like 3-something in the morning. And then I started getting a little heated because I told the driver, I was like, you know what, if you're not gonna go home, I'm gonna call my brother and he's gonna come pick me up. And he started saying, no, you're not gonna call anyone. I was like, yes, I'm gonna call my brother and he's gonna pick me up and that's it. If you wanna stay here with him, you stay here with him. If you wanna go home with me, let's go home right now. And he wouldn't give me an answer. I was like, you know what, I'm calling my brother. So I have my phone literally on my hands trying to get a hold of my brother and he pulls my phone away and then he puts it under his lap. I was like, give my phone back. At that point I was already heated. One, because he was touching my stuff that he should have never done. And two, because we were not doing anything. We were just sitting on the side of the road and we were not moving backwards. All we kept doing was just standing there, And I said, I have to show up to work. I'm not gonna call off because I don't have the option to call off, I have to go to work. And they were just not understanding that. And then the girl, she's all like, I know you have responsibilities, Arturo, but you have to we have to get a room here. And that's it. I was like, well, girl, I don't care if we get a room here. I just have to go home. Like, I had to get home. And, is there a cop behind me? I don't know if there's a cop or not, but I'm not doing anything illegal. I was like, I don't care if you guys want to stay here, you guys stay here. But I wanted my phone back because I wanted to get my ride back home. And he wouldn't give me my phone, so I pretty much just digged under his lap and I pulled it away. And I was like, I'm calling my brother, he's gonna come pick me up. And as I was trying to get a hold of my brother, next thing you know, I just feel like this punch right in my ear, like right here. And that fucker punched me like up close. It was so hard, when like, I don't know if that's ever happened to you guys, but when you go to a concert and then you come out and your ears, you hear that little noise. I felt that just on this ear because I guess he hit me so hard. He hit me that hard. Oh my god. He hit me that hard that it made my ear feel that or hear that noise, And at this point, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little drunk. And I was like in disbelief because I can't believe that somebody actually punched me. And believe it or not, I'm not a drama person. I never gotten into a fight before in my life. I've never been punched by anyone other than my brother, like playing around when we have our arguments, but I don't think that counts. I never been punched by anyone, especially a person who I thought I loved, like my friends, whatever. Like, I feel like the people that I thought I was cool with, like, I was clearly not. Because one of them, the girl, she started like, she was this whole other person. And the other guy that started screaming with her, like, he started telling me shit too. He's all like, oh, shut the fuck up, we're staying here. But it wasn't even like that type of friends where they were not being civil, they were not using their normal voice saying, hey, Art, like trying to reason with me, And I guess they were drunk, so that kind of plays a part on why they didn't do that. But I don't know, the words that they used, the way they were acting towards me, that was what was really hurting me, what was I really hurt? And the main thing about it was that I got punched, by this person who I thought I trusted and who I thought we were like very close friends, we were really close. I was honestly so mad and so angry, so disappointed. I honestly don't even have the words of what I felt. I just wasn't just disbelieved that I got punched, And I was like, okay, that's it. Like, he punched me. I get off the car. I walk away from them, from the car, from the group, and I just call my brother and I say, hey, Angel, can you please like come pick me up? I'm here in Santa Barbara, and I send him my location, like through Find My iPhone. So you send them like your pinpoint exactly location, whatever, you know. And I send him my location. So like, okay, I'm on my way. And then when he was on his way back, I literally had my light. You know how you turn on your light from your phone, like your flashlight? I had it on and I was just pointing it to the freeway. And I said, okay, Angel, I'm not at the freeway, but I'm on a road that's next to the freeway. So he was gonna be able to see my light flashing, you know? Like, so when you get around my area, just look for the flashing light. And he found me with the flashing light. He had to go inside the road, pick me up in there. And then while he was on his way there, the people that were screaming at me, that were calling me names, that were telling me that I was gonna go to hell for being gay, whatever. I don't give a fuck. If honestly, I don't care about their comments, because I know who I am and I know what I did wasn't wrong for wanting to go home and wanting to show up for work. You know, like if they wanted to stay there, they could have stayed, and that's it. Like, I don't want to stay there. I was gonna go home, but the fact that I was being stopped from going home, that's what pissed me off so much. And like I said, and the fact that I got punched by a person that I thought I loved and trust, I was like, you know what? I don't have to be here. I don't have to be going through this. This is just unreal. And then the people that were telling me all that, they started like apologizing, like, Arturo, are you okay? Come here with us. Come with us. Your brother's on his way. Like trying to comfort me. You know, it's like, what the fuck? Like, get the fuck away from my face. I was like, honestly, I didn't even say that. I just said, okay, you know what? I was like, just go to the car. I'm okay. Just get out of here. I don't want to see you. I don't want to have you close to me. And then the person that punched me tries to comment and like, are you okay? I'm like, you know what, man? Like, get the fuck out of my face, please. Like, I don't want to see you. I don't want to have you close to me right now. I'm waiting for my ride. I'm going home, and that's it, you know? And like I said, I'm talking about people that I used to like hang out with a lot, do a lot of things together, you know? I don't know, it just really disappointed me. Honestly, the people that I was with, I would consider them like what I thought were like my close friends. The closest friends that I don't have a lot of friends, but I'm not a loner either. And I have people that I say hi and bye, but they were not those kind of friends, you know? They were friends that I actually enjoyed talking to, enjoyed having lunch, enjoyed having dinner, enjoyed going to the movies, going to bars, you know? I don't know. And then after that, I was like, you know what, Arturo, you don't need this. It's already, like almost 4 a.m, and what are you doing here? You know, you have work tomorrow, you have your responsibilities. You don't have to be here, you know? And I don't know, I guess it just changed my mind on who I really consider my friends. And then after that, after I cut them off, I don't know, I just see things in a very different way, you know? I feel that I feel very disappointed about what happened that night. I don't hate them, but I don't look forward on hanging out with them again. I don't know, so far it's just me right now. The people that I thought were my close friends were clearly not. I'm having me time now, I guess, and I'd rather be it's this Spanish saying, because it's prefiero estar solo que mal acompañado, which is I'd rather be alone than being than not being well. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to translate it. It doesn't sound the same when it's in English, but I was very disappointed. And like I said, right now they I'm not even gonna stress about it. I'm just hanging out with myself, and I guess that kind of showed me how people who you really think your friends are really not, and how it's sometimes better to just be alone, you know, and not stress about anyone. Just enjoy your life, because all you do is just have one. And if all the negative things that are being presented in your life, just try to avoid them. And if you can avoid them, just face them, but just know that they're not going to stay there permanently. And I don't know, that's just the way I see it. And then the next day at work, I feel like shit, honestly, because I had to get up at 6:10, 6:15, whatever. I got ready in 15 minutes and I had to be at work at 7. So I literally got I got home like at I think it was like 4 a.m. I got home like at 4 a.m. It was like 4 or 5. So I had like 2 hours and like, I don't know, 15 minutes of sleep. I felt so stupid. I felt like I was dozing off. I couldn't even walk straight. I don't know. It's so bad. It's like, what did I gain last night? I didn't gain anything. Nothing was beneficial for me, you know? I don't know, I just feel like I'm speechless. I was speechless about that night. And like I said, I'd rather just be by myself. If people want to hang out with me, we'll hang out, you know, and I don't know, I don't know, I just keep, whenever I think about this situation, I keep thinking about this saying that said, if you don't want to be disappointed, don't ever expect anything from someone. And it's very true now that I think about it, you know. Whatever. I don't know, but I still have you guys, so I still have the option of talking to you guys and sharing my experiences with you guys, you know, and how you guys, I like how you guys talk to me and tell me everything's gonna be okay, or I don't know, just little problems that I shared on my past videos with you guys. You guys are very supportive on that, and I really appreciate it, because like I said, it makes me feel like I'm not the only one going through these type of things, you know. I don't know. Thank you guys so much for being there for me and listening to me. And like I said, of course, I know I'm not perfect, and nor do I want to be perfect, you know. And I guess these are just life experiences that I have to experience. But I don't know. That's how my shitty week has been. All this, losing my dog. Oh, and I also lost my phone. I lost my phone. When was it? The night before we went to Santa Barbara. We went to Santa Barbara on a Sunday night. I lost my phone on a Friday night in LA. We go to LA. I don't know, I guess I got a little too drunk. And then I get home. I was like, where's my phone? And then I check the iCloud or whatever. I find my iPhone, and it was in LA. And I live like an hour away from LA, and it's like, what the hell? I'm not gonna drive back home for my phone. So I just locked in and erased that shit because I didn't have a passcode. I don't know, I just never have a passcode on my stuff because I hate having to wait for my fingerprint to scan and something doesn't scan, or I hate to put in the code because now they made it longer. So I just didn't have a passcode. I was like, well, I'm not gonna let somebody go through my stuff, you know, because I had like my Apple Pay and stuff. So I just erased that thing and locked it. And so right now I have like a regular phone. I don't know, it's still an iPhone, you know, but I still miss my big phone. I feel like I like my big phone better for my big fingers. So I didn't have a phone for for the whole Saturday. And then Sunday night, that's when my aunt let me borrow her phone. So I've been using that until I get my new phone. I don't know, so much stuff just happened, you know, shitty stuff. But whatever, I mean, I don't have any control over it. It's done, set in stone. Just keep moving forward, I guess. Like I said, so far, I was good on my own. That's the way it was. I love that song so much. It never gets old. And I feel like it's so accurate, you know. But anyways, sorry if I brought all this negative energy into you guys' life, or not that you guys care about what happened. I'm just sharing it, like I said. And thank you guys so much for listening. But I think I'm gonna cut this video short. I just wanted to share this experience with me and share this message of how no new friends, I guess. Every single time I think of that, I think of this song. Wait, let me show you guys. Oh my God, I've been not burping, but I think of this song. Another one. Yeah. By Drake. No New Friends with DJ Khaled or whatever. Rick Ross and Lil Wayne. I should listen to it. Alrighty. Well, you guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you guys so much for hearing me out. And if you guys want to follow me on my social media, because I'm more on Instagram than I'm more on Snapchat than I am on Instagram. Make sure you follow me. I don't know, let me see. I think I showed you guys my code, but I don't know if you guys got it. Let me show you guys. Look, I'm gonna show it to you guys again. You guys can just screenshot this little part, and then just go scan me on my, there you go. I don't know if this is gonna work or not, but just screenshot this and then go scan it on Facebook, on Snapchat. You guys on my Instagram channel. I'll put everything in the description box down below. And I hope to see you guys and stay in touch. And hasta my next vlog. See you guys in my next vlog. Take care. I love you guys so much. And thank you guys for listening. Bye. Mwah.